Blog Talk Radio.
Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Sports Show on Blog Talk Radio. It is Sunday, November 30th, 2014, the last day of November 2014. At 11 p.m., the show will go on until up to 11:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm Taylor Phillips. You can call in at 646-478-4837. That is 646-478-4837. You can talk about anything Detroit sports. First off, an unfortunate result in Lambeau Field. The Packers beat the Patriots 26-21, so the Packers remain in the lone lead of the NFC North by one game over our beloved Detroit Lions, despite them coming through against the Chicago Bears on Thanksgiving Day at Ford Field. Their offense came to life beginning in the second quarter after falling behind 14-3. The Lions defense particularly was a bit shaky before Stafford threw the first touchdown pass to Calvin Megatron Johnson. And then the Lions took the lead on a Joyke Bell 1-yard leaping touchdown over the dog pile, and just barely threw the plane to give the Lions a 17-14 lead. And then with just 26 seconds left, CJ with another touchdown reception from about a few yards out. Made it 24-14 Lions at the half. Bears only kicked in a field goal in the third quarter. That was it. Fourth quarter, the Lions just kept rolling. Joyke Bell with an easy left guard touchdown run off left guard from 1 yard out, less than a yard out after Joseph Fourier came just an inch close to scoring. I thought he just barely got in, but I don't know. It's 50-50. It was a difficult decision for the NFL officials, the NFL referees and linesmen to make. It's just so freaking close. Anyway, Jim Caldwell didn't need to challenge it. It's a piece of cake. Joyke Bell just took the hand off from Stafford and just walked in off left guard. Piece of cake. Touchdown, Detroit Lions, as Dan Miller would say. Then they would bury with another touchdown. They would bury it with a field goal. From 40 yards out by Matt Prater, who finished 2 for 2. A perfect 2 for 2. Both of his field goals were perfect too. Speaking of perfection, I think Matt Prater's a very good kicker now. He was just coming off side effects of his alcohol issues, or alcoholism, whatever you may call it. He was coming off rehab after being released by the Denver Broncos. Before getting released by the Denver Broncos. Lions host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are apparently 1-10. I'm going to go to NFL.com here. I think the Lions have a very easy homestand before going on the road. They got the hapless Bucks at home, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then they got the Minnesota Vikings. They held the Vikings to just 3 points in their first matchup at TCF Bank Stadium. Wow, Vikings just couldn't score a touchdown. Under quarterback while their offense was being led by Teddy Bridgewater. It was a rookie quarterback. He's very good, but well, somewhat good. Let's see, Tampa Bay. Well, the Rams blanked the Raiders 52-0. Blowout alert. The Buccaneers lost 14-13 to the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, they found another way to lose. They're now 1-10. And so are the Raiders of Oakland. Like I mentioned before, they got blown out by the St. Louis Rams in the Midwest regions, 52-0. One game, Sunday night football game going on right now. The Broncos lead the Chiefs 26-16. 10:23 left in the fourth quarter. Then the Dolphins and Jets tomorrow night on ESPN Monday Night Football at 8:30. Mike Tirico and John Gruden on the call. Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth calling the NBC game tonight. Broncos have the ball. Nice catch right there. With 10:14 to go. Trying to by number 10. Sanders. Clock winding down with under 10 to go. Let's move on to some Red Wings here. They swept the entire week, facing the Senators, Flyers, Devils, and Canucks. And they finally won a shootout in New Jersey, not only because of Gustav Nyquist. Peter Mrazek was in net, and he was facing three of the worst career active shooters in the NHL right now. Josephson, and then Mike Camilleri, who going into that shootout was 12 out of 42. He got stopped easily by Peter Mrazek. And then Michael Ryder, 6 of 37, got stopped there. Now 6 of 38. Devils head coach Pat Burns, what are you thinking? Second of all, in that week, all 3 games at home in the third period, the Wings have allowed 5 goals total while scoring 3. 2 of them into the empty net, and 1 off a weird deflection bounce off one of the Canucks players earlier today. The Red Wings didn't earn any goals, most certainly against the Ottawa Senators last Monday. They allowed 2 goals in that game. They allowed 1 in the Philadelphia game before scoring an easy empty netter, and then they gave up 2 one on a deflection, which they should have blocked. On the back check, and the second goal, I think Howard should have stopped anyway, whether it was kicked in or not. That the goal counted. It was that was a difficult decision by the referees to make anyway, most certainly under video review. Pavel Datsyuk with the very slow empty net goal, just straight into the hole, into the empty net for a 5-3 win. Signed, sealed, delivered, as Michael Jackson would say. The Red Wings now have 33 points, still chasing the Lightning and the Canadiens for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. And the Pistons are just not improving, by the way. They were 3-10 last week, now they're 3-14. I mean, they took on a very, very tough Golden State Warriors team, but the Pistons defense is missing. It's a mess. Whichever way you want to put it, it's just awful. Their offense scored 93 points, which is not that bad. There are 4 teams, actually, that are tied for first place in the Eastern Conference. The Penguins, the Lightning, the Islanders, and the Canadiens. Back to hockey. The Red Wings trailed all 4 by just 1 point for 5th place. It's a very, very tight race for the top spot in the Eastern Conference. But the Red Wings still have that 3rd spot in the Atlantic Division, followed by the Bruins in the Atlantic Division with just 29, with 29 points. Vancouver still tied for 3rd place with 33 points, or tied for 2nd, whichever you prefer. Just 1 point behind the Nashville Predators and the St. Louis Blues. Fast forward back to the Pistons, they're just an embarrassment. With Stan Van Gundy as their coach, they should have had a much better record with Van Gundy, a much better start. And you know it's not early anymore. It's already a month in. You can still say it's early as many times as you want, but This is becoming more serious, guys. Pistons fans, especially. Stan Van Gundy has got to plug in a ton of discipline into this Pistons franchise. I just don't know what the deal is here. I just don't. I still love the Pistons, and I still love the NBA. It's an exciting sport of basketball. Don't give me this. I hate the NBA. I hate the Pistons. They shouldn't be in the NBA.
What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't bug me.
That is not fan talk. If you don't like the Pistons or the NBA, this doesn't apply to you. Period. So if you don't like the Pistons or the NBA, then just wait until I change, at least wait until I change the subject. And still listen. Over to college sports. I expected the Ohio State Buckeyes in football to rout the Michigan Wolverines by about 50 some odd points at the Horseshoe in Columbus, but Michigan's offense, led by Devin Gardner, scoring 28 points and keeping it a close game until Ohio State buried it. By the way, prayers and condolences to JT Barrett, who broke his ankle, and his family. Devin Gardner showed true sportsmanship attending to JT Barrett. I wonder if they're best friends. Sportsmanship is what matters, but a loss is a loss for Michigan. They're 5-7. Brady Hoke has to be fired tomorrow. He's got to be fired Monday. I mean, not just Jim Harbaugh, but everybody else is a lot smarter and more aware than Brady Hoke is. And Brady Hoke is also a liar and saying that he will be the Michigan head coach. He's going to be. I read in an article yesterday, right after about an hour after the game ran out of time in the fourth quarter. You can call it 646-478-4837 about this Brady Hoke situation. About Brady Hoke's cluelessness. Hey, you can talk about whatever you want, Detroit sports. Your opinion's always welcome. But please, don't tell me you hate any part of Detroit sports. Not even the Pistons. Even if you don't like them, don't tell me that. This is a Detroit sports show. It's Taylor's Detroit sports show. It's my Detroit sports show. I let you all listen. Michigan State routed Penn State 34-10. Well, sort of. They just buried them. The Nittany Lions were awful. And they scored a touchdown, and a field goal, but 34 points by MSU, plenty. College basketball, Michigan State lost to Kansas 61-56. Michigan let me see here. Michigan smashed Nichols 91-62. And my Central Michigan Chippewas beat Grand Canyon by 2 points, 79-77. Niagara beat Detroit Mercy 71-49. Then Western Michigan beat San Diego by 2 points, 68-66. Detroit Mercy lost again to Bowling Green 64-63. How did Eastern do? last time Eastern Michigan basketball played, they blasted Rochester, Michigan 68, Rochester, Michigan 68-35. Since then, they had off. Last Friday, Western beat San Jose State 79-60. Eastern Michigan plays at home against Marygrove College tomorrow at 7. Detroit Mercy hosts Aquinas College tomorrow at 7. Then the Titans take on the IPFW Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne Mastodons tomorrow at 7. Pistons take on the Lakers in the NBA Stupor Finals, 7:30. Number 19, Michigan. The Wolverines take on Syracuse at Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor at 7:30 on ESPN. The Wings take on the Panthers. They need home ice redemption against those Cats. Next game for the CMU Chippewas is tomorrow. It is Tuesday at 8. It's at Bradley. I think it's the Bradley Bears or something like that. The Bradley Braves, actually. The Bradley Braves, not the Bears. I just got word that Kobe Bryant has just recorded his 6,000th career assist. Hey, congrats, Kobe. You actually are a team player. 6,000 assists in his NBA career. Trust me, he doesn't just put up points. Some used to think he's not a team player, but he is now. Michigan State, number 20, takes on Notre Dame in South Bend, 7:15. Pistons take on the Celtics, 7:30. The Wings take on the Stars at the Joe at 7:30 Thursday. Then on Saturday, everybody's got off Friday, December 5th. Michigan takes on NJIT at noon. CMU takes on SIU Edwardsville at 1 at McGurk Arena. Eastern Michigan travels to Dayton and takes the Eagles at Flyers at 2 o'clock. Michigan State takes on Arkansas Pine Bluff at 2:15. Detroit Mercy home against South Florida at 3. Western Michigan at Northeastern at 4 o'clock. The Red Wings host the Rangers at 7. And the Pistons host the 76ers at 7:30. It'll be another tough game for the Stones. Then the Lions take on the Buccaneers at 1, like I mentioned earlier. The Lions are going to rock the Buccaneers. Just as long as their offense keeps up that momentum through the Chicago Thanksgiving Day game. On Sunday, also the Wings travel to Carolina and take on the Hurricanes at 5, and the Pistons host the Oklahoma City Thunder at 6. That is your week ahead here on Taylor's Detroit Sports Show on Blog Talk Radio for Sunday, November 30th, 2014. Brought to you by TheScore.com and the Score mobile app on your smartphone. My goodness. The Red Wings are actually getting better. The Pistons are actually getting a lot worse. With Stan Van Gundy as their coach? That is absolutely crazy. It's like both Detroit teams are like shooting through the roof in opposite directions. No updates on the Tigers yet in terms of hot stove Major League Baseball news as far as that's concerned. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'll be back on Spreaker tomorrow night or sometime soon. Then I'll be back here December 6th on next Sunday at 11 p.m. for another 30-minute installment of Taylor's Detroit Sports Show on Blog Talk Radio. Thanks for listening and downloading. Be sure to catch me on Spreaker as well. TTFN, ta-ta for now.